everybody, my name is Myer and we are here live recording inside the AWS Build On Live studio.
Indeed we do.
With Darko, my man. Oh, dude, it's so, we didn't get a chance at reInvent.
Yeah. Last time I saw you was DC Summit.
Yes, it was. And you had the Jeff Bezos shirt on.
I didn't bring it right now. But
no, that's slightly a little disappointed. But this was an improv, okay? So what we were trying to do is get a little recording going on inside the studio, quick, maybe 15, 20 minutes, and talk about a couple of things. So, first of all, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for having me again.
Yeah, well, this time it's live, right?
Live.
reInvent, you were so busy live streaming,
True.
And we're trying to get you over to the podcast and thing. Before we talk about it, so your topic today that we want to talk about real quick is live streaming.
Is live streaming.
Like literally.
Live streaming, yes. Right?
Oh,
so live streaming is something I've been enjoying for the last 3-4 years doing. It's been just something that I immensely like, and I've been doing it. I don't want to say good. There's way better streamers out there, but I do it with passion, so at least that counts for something. So
I heard you developed your own training, and you help a lot of people kind of perfect themselves for doing live streaming. So
we at AWS have this channel called twitch.tv/AWS where a lot of technical content goes out, and a lot of people want to do shows. And one of the thoughts a couple of years back was like, how can we make that more accessible to folks? Let's not get a random person live stream whatever they think, but how can we enable them to do it better? How can you live stream properly? Hence, the training was formed where basically I and some other folks teach you how to live stream, teach you what not to do on a live stream, because coming from a traditional technical background, you're used to webinars.
Mm-hmm.
You go on a live stream and you take up your favorite PowerPoint presentation, you click through it, and then.
And while you're doing that, I'm multitasking over here because it's a traditional webinar and I'm not engaged.
Exactly. So kind of teaching you some of the tips and tricks we can do as live streamers to inform, inspire, educate, earn trust, and sometimes even entertain. So.
I think the earn trust, the educate, entertain. Oh, they're all important, man. I'll tell you what. First of all, and that's what I inspire to do. And I always say, you're always improving your craft, right? It's
right.
Every single time that you do one, you learn from what you should have done or did different, or you tried to do a joke and it didn't land as well, or you just try to. Yeah. But you keep going at it and you try to improve time and time again. I think educating and entertaining builds that trust, right?
It does.
I will pay attention to you more if you are engaging me as the audience watching it.
And it's also like a thing, like if you ever watch anybody on a media person on YouTube or Twitch, a lot of times you watch their content because of them. So it is important that when you are a person on screen that you are as human as you can be. If you are this corporate identity of a thing, Corey Quinn once told me nobody listens to a corporate podcast, and nobody listens to a corporate podcast. So being this unique human being and earning trust with your audience in that way is, well, the way to go. At least it will increase engagement. Hence, if you're doing stuff live, you need to do it live. I've seen recorded content streamed on Twitch for some reason.
Wait, that's not allowed, is it?
You can technically do it, and people have done it. That's not a problem. Technically, it's possible to do, but I always tell people on the training, like, ask yourself, if the stream you're doing was pre-recorded, would it make a difference? And if the answer is no, don't do a live stream. That's it, just simple as that. Like, unless you're going to be engaging with chat, unless you're going to be doing it live, talking to the community, throwing questions, throwing back questions, doing polls, just being a friend of the chat, don't do a live stream.
Okay, I got to ask you, because I find, and I've done a lot of Twitch ones, not only I was on the AWS Twitch, but we did Deep Racer for Twitch.
Yes.
It is a lot of work to not only focus on what you're trying to do, educate, entertain, but also engage with the audience. Yes. Like, how is that? How are you able to balance them?
I have no idea. I like.
Let me know.
I don't know. I like to multitask, but again, ultimately, one of the key things about Twitch is that you have an audience, and the audience is the most important part of it. So when I do Twitch, the audience is, I call them chat, right? That's what you call Twitch chat. And I envision them as a singular blob of human who are listening to me. And I'm having a conversation with them. They're sitting with us on the table. So I'm making sure that they can understand what I'm saying. At the same time, I'm following through with the other technical content because I'm not just presenting. I'm talking to chat, and so it would be the same if I was sitting with you in a coffee shop and I was trying to explain something to you and I wouldn't pay attention or would forget or something. It's kind of that feeling. So keep them at the table and talk to them like that. So that's kind of one of the ways I do it. But yeah, as you said, there's a lot of stuff you need to do, but always remember it's a two-way discussion.
Yeah.
It's never a one-way.
I think that's what makes some podcasts stand out in conversations like Twitch and everything is the human connection, the human conversation. People are going to stay on longer because there's a conversation. They know it's not scripted. They know you're going to mess up. And that's where the trust comes in because they know that, oh, he messed up. He's going to fix it. If he's not, he's going to do a video on how he fixed it and share it, right?
And I always make sure to remember the people who join the streams. I like people like TypeScript Tea Time, The Undead Squirrel, Garuna M6, Flexion, Father Goblin. Those are some of the names I know that come to my streams. I don't know them personally. Some of them I do, but it's wonderful to see those people come back again. And I always say hi to them. So if you're watching this, hello, folks.
I think that's actually pretty cool because if you notice, if you do like Peloton, right, they're riding a bike and they're calling out these names, you feel the connection. And it's recorded, so if they go back and watch it, it's like, hey, my name was called out by Darko. So it's pretty. It builds a lot of a relationship with you.
Sid Myer. Sid Meier created the game Civilization, among other things.
Yep.
In his book, he wrote, there's a quote, an audience member is just an audience member until you include them in the show. All of a sudden, just like that, they're no longer an audience member, they're a participant. They have a vested interest in the show. They want you to succeed.
Yep.
Just because their face, their name, their message, their comment was on screen for a fraction of a second, it means the world to them. Well, not to all of them, but I hope it means the world.
To most of them. Okay, I know we wanted to do a quick one. I have a hot topic, and this has been a topic for the last, I don't know, a couple of years. How long have you been at AWS?
7.5 years.
Yeah, you have the badge and everything. This has been a hot topic. Apparently, there is multiple of you, or there's one of you. There's somebody else. Then in comparison, they can't, like, you remind us of somebody else, and I'm here to dispel the belief that, you know, you're Darko, and there's another person named Cobus, right?
Not Darko, technically. Yeah, he's named non-Darko.
Non-Darko. Okay, so there's a non-Darko, and then there's a Darko.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
And it's impossible to tell the difference. And you know, we joke, but people have legit confused us. Not like by mistake, but or like as a gag, but like people who we work with have called me Cobus numerous times. His kids even said, called me daddy at one moment, which is weird, but you know, it's the bald, it's the beard, and it's the hoodie, I guess. So,
I have had you on my show.
Yes.
I have had Cobus on my show. I've never had you both on my show. I've never had you both in the same room on this. So everybody, I really want to try to dispel the belief that these are two separate people in this community, in this AWS one, and we're not going to confuse either one of them. There's actually another person in it, and I'd love to introduce you, but I'm not really sure about it. So, Darko, what do you think about this?
There's only one of us.
Wait.
It's Cobus and not Cobus.
Oh, so are you non-Darko, or are you,
Well,
or Darko?
It depends. What do you want to talk about? If you want to talk about CDK, then hi, I'm Darko. Terraform, hey.
Okay. Whoa, come on in here. Come on in. Both of you.
We're not exactly that much alike, but yeah.
It really confuses people. And Julie, last week we were talking about it, and we were talking about an upcoming live stream we're going to do. And obviously, we're coordinating with Darko a bunch of things. He wasn't on that call, and she ends it off with, "Hey, thanks, Darko," as in completely like, "Oh, yeah."
Exactly. There you go. So yeah, it's been. We worked together for like 4 years now. I think almost 4 years. Something like that. Yeah.
I think because you guys are you in the same team, like side by side? Now you are.
Well,
because
in EMEA we were, then we split for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then
we were on a break.
Yeah.
You guys took a break.
Yeah. Basically, he moved to the US. I'm like, crap, I can't deal with this. So
we've talked about his move to the US. In fact, it's fully documented.
Oh.
But I think with you guys on the same team, right? You work, collaborate with the same people. It does get. I think like twin. You are like the same height too.
I don't know. We used to be friends now, so we're just colleagues.
We come from the same time zone technically, but 2 different hemispheres. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna matter, Ted. Okay, so we have Darko, we have Cobus. Cobus, you've been on my show. We've talked about a number of things, and in fact, he once told me that he had a really good time on it, but it was so. He's like,
he danced a lot of times. So.
Yeah,
I must confess,
I
got more fun out of it, I think, afterwards than you did. It was because I saw the video. I'm like, I need to get off this podcast right now.
Okay, so a little backstory. If you haven't caught it, check out the podcast. Cobus was actually, I was going to call you Darko to be funny, but step in here a little bit more into the camera. Everybody got to see. So we were ending the podcast, and all of a sudden his screen lights up. In fact, I highlighted his screen lights up, and he's like, so I hope you had a good time. Yes, had great time. Did you? Because that didn't sound really good. I left the recording in because he's like, no, really, I did. And we talked all about what he was supposed to do, a document read, and he was getting hit up at the same time.
That was funny.
The people reviewing that video was hilarious. They loved it. They loved the feedback on it. It's fun. Those are the things that you can't count for that are on a recording. Those are like the blooper reels that make you human behind.
Oh yeah,
right?
definitely.
That engages your audience. They're like, oh my God, that was hilarious. And I added that in the beginning, dropped it around, and used it as a highlight. And in fact, I usually tend to turn on it's a fair warning. I tend to turn on the recording ahead of time, and we just have a conversation.
Right, so we told you about that project.
We're under NDA. No, but I turn it on and we have a conversation, and it's just to loosen you up, right? And then we have a little bit of fun, and then we get it. I'm like, all right, you ready? 3, 2, 1, and I kick it off, and we jump into the conversation. Most of mine started off introducing, and now I've got a little more prescriptive and having right to the point what we're talking about, because everybody knows a lot of my audience that comes onto the show. I think that does it. What are your feelings on, and we're going to stay on the live stream topic here real quick. What are your feelings on the live stream?
There I would say it's almost better to make mistakes, because the whole thing that I, for example, disliked about webinars, because we all know when COVID hit, we suddenly went like, we're supposed to be on stage at events talking to people, and, we can't go anywhere. So we switched over to webinars, and then what you would do is you would agonate over, just recording the perfect take without any mistake, just running through. If something in the background took a long time, all you did is, cut out, oh, that takes 3 seconds. I promise, it's not 30 minutes you're waiting for, your CloudFront distribution to spin up or anything like that. And I mean, it got to a point where there was I need to do an intro for an event in South Africa. The intro itself was 2 minutes long. It was pre-scripted. I had the text there. How many takes do you think it took me?
I'm going to say 30?
37.
Oh, hey, I was right on there. You want to know why? Yeah. I know the exact feeling, because here's what I do. I will sit there and I will read something, and I'll read it, and then probably by the 20th time, I've got it so memorized it's natural coming across, and then I just want to go, and then I start adding my own, and if I went back and read that text, it contains some of what I'm going to say, but it contained my own verbiage in it. Yeah. And that's where you start to, like, you kind of get away from the script type, right? And you want to put your own personal... How much do you read now from a script?
Oh, I don't do any anymore. I don't even prepare the scripts. I basically figure out what the demos I'm going to do, figure out what I'm going to talk about, and, let's just go. Because especially, I think, with a live stream, if you're busy showing them how to build something, and then you go, well, I did something wrong, or I forgot a config somewhere, and then it's like troubleshooting mode. That's, I think, we also earn the trust with the audience, because it's not just, hey, he knows how to parrot back whatever he was told to do. It's like, okay, I understand the topic, I can fix it. And along the way, that's actually how you teach people, because I'm an expert because I know how everything can break.
And then you broke it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, drop the prod database, I've locked people out.
We talked about the prod database.
Yes. There's one, but that'll require a couple of beers, and not today, but
after this, we will not record that part.
But how Jira got me fired. That'll be a fun story one day, but literally. Here's your plane ticket tomorrow, you're going home. That level up, yeah.
Oh, stay tuned. I can see a future podcast coming in there. Don't worry, we'll put it on there. I want to wrap things up because, in fact, we got some beers to go to, or no, not at all. We're just drinking
a doc read.
Yes, a doc read. Ding! Oh, yes, I had a great time.
Was it good? Yeah, okay. Bye.
Yeah, exactly. But if you were to give somebody advice for doing a live stream, right? Whether they're starting out their first time or it's their 10th time or further on, whatever it is, what are some of the advice that you would give?
Have fun. I mean, the biggest thing is pick something that entertains you and you're passionate about, because if you don't like it, that's going to come across.
Yeah.
And it's going to be dry, it's going to be boring, people don't want to watch. Whereas, you get excited about something, like even if it's like an obscure thing. Trust me, there are a million people. I mean, look at Darko. You put him on a stream talking about old computers, it comes across.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, he was doing, what were the sprite things you were doing? Like how to get a sprite to display on a
Commodore 64.
Yes, Commodore 64. I mean, that was a fun stream. I mean, I've never coded with that. I never played, but I watched it because this is interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not going to learn anything that I'll use in my job, but it's interesting.
I'm not using a Commodore 64, but this is fun. I like that. Have a little fun. Darko, come on back over here. We're going to wrap it up. No, you got to stay in because remember, there are two of them, so we're going to keep them in the same thing.
Apparently, there's two of us, so just so you know.
Yes. All right. So I'm going to ask you the same question as we wrap it up. If you were to give somebody advice, starting out 10, 15 streams in, or even more, what was the advice you'd give them?
2 pieces of advice.
All right.
Two
Two-piece advice team.
2 pieces of advice team. Be consistent. If you do a live stream, just keep on doing it. It's gonna suck. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be, you're not gonna get any views. But if you keep on doing it at the same place, at the same time, week after week, day after day, whatever you decide, things are gonna get better. 2, no scripts on a live stream. If you script the live stream, you failed immediately. Yeah. So that's it.
You gotta flick back to that script to read it. And by the time you do it, people are jumping off.
You actually joke. We had a streaming session where like twice a week we streamed.
Yeah.
And then one day, and we did a regular cadence, everything was working well. And then I made the joke of saying, yeah, and now a gap for our sponsors, like joking. And we lost like 20, 30 people that are gone.
So yeah.
Like a doc, not a doc read. They're gone. But basically like a marketing read for your sponsors. They're out, and that's not what Twitch is about.
I think those things are fine. They can exist, but ultimately, you don't come to a live stream again with a scripted text that you want to read, because again, it's not the same thing.
Yep.
It's not the format for that, and that's why, as Cobus said, you should take something that you really care about, something that you find interesting, and even if something you don't know, but you just find interesting, it's fine. Like I've been doing and will be doing a couple of live streams where I and a few other folks, we just do stuff with zero preparation. Basically, take a blog post from this gentleman here
tomorrow,
and I just try to do it like without any prep. I may fail, I'll probably fail, but that's the fun thing. So don't take it too seriously. Have fun. Don't script and be consistent.
I agree with you, and I'm going to give you my 2 advice, even though you didn't ask.
Okay. Give me your 2 advices, John.
First of all, keep doing it. Whatever you do, keep consistency. I agree with you. And what I do for any of my podcasts, and you guys know because you see my document, I got 3 bullet points or 3 things. What are the key takeaways? What are the 3 things? These are the topics we talk about. And in fact, sometimes we never get to those topics because the conversation goes where it just goes, and let the natural stuff happen.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
From a technical perspective, get a microphone. Get a better microphone. You can have the worst camera in the world. You can have the potato camera. You can have here's a bad camera. There you go. You can have this as your camera if you want, or that,
or this. Or that. This is a little slow.
That's okay as long as you have a good microphone, right? So this is not a good microphone, just so you know. Get a better one. Get Apple, not AirPods. AirPods are horrible. The Apple wired headset is better than this.
With one exception.
With the beard, yeah, that's a problem. But general, just get yourself a better microphone. That's all you need. So.
People will forgive bad video. They will not forgive bad audio.
No, exactly.
I have learned to echo. There was one time, and I know we were wrapping it up. I was doing actually content recording for a training company, and my mic changed over from my regular mic to my laptop mic, and there is no amount of editing you could do to make that quality better. It literally sounded like I was across the room, and I did like 2 hours worth of recording. I had to redo it all.
Of course, yeah.
Nobody's gonna watch it. You're gonna lose them within minutes.
At least the mic was on.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Been there, done it, right? Record for 2 hours and be like, where's the audio?
Yep.
Oh, I forgot the. All right. So guys, thank you so much for having me here in Seattle. Thank you. I really appreciate it. This has been a pleasure. Any
You
plugins for you?
Thursdays.
Are you sure?
Thursdays at 9 a.m. Pacific, twitch.tv/reviews. Build on Weekly, where the wonderful Jackie and I do build stuff on the cloud on Twitch.
As Cobus said, I am sure I had a good time on this. Hopefully I showed. Thank you, everybody. My name's John Myer, and as always, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and notify, and make sure you watch the show. All right, later.